I'm going to ask you to keep an open mind. And I know you're thinking, Sarah, I'm an open minded person. Of course, I'll keep an open mind, not a problem. But for real, I need you to take a deep breath. I need you to step back and I need you to genuinely consider this with an open mind. Because what if your life is actually fine, but you don't think it is because it doesn't look good enough? Hello, my Wellish besties. Welcome back. We are in a new month, and all of April, we're focusing on lifestyle and routines. And I really love this topic for Wellish because I think so much of the time when it comes to our lifestyle and it comes to our routines, we get so rigid about making sure that it's perfect, and we need to live a little bit more Wellish when it comes to this stuff. So that's all what we're going to be focusing on this month, not lifestyle and routines in order to make it self-improved and look the best, in order to do the cute aesthetic morning moment, but to make it more real life and knowing that if it looks real life, it's good enough. I really want to normalize what life looks like on a day to day because I think that a lot of people try to curate their day to day in order to make their life look good and not feel good. And there is a very distinct difference between those two things. If anything in this episode resonates with you, please make sure to rate and review the show. It really does help get the episodes out to more like-minded individuals like you and I that need to live a little bit more wellishly. And if you are a person that truly does love self-improvement, but just cannot get behind the pressure of perfection that it comes with, you're gonna wanna subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Here's the problem. You're looking at life from an outside perspective. Like you are judging your own life through the lens of an external party. And it could be an individual, or it could just be general society as a whole, like a group of people, but you're not looking at your life through your own eyes. You're looking at your life from an external overseer's point of view. And what ends up happening is how you go about your life is based on how it looks, not how it feels. You know how, like, they say that it's not so much what you do for people, but it's how you make people feel. People remember how you make them feel. It's the same idea for you. You will remember how you make yourself feel more so than the actual events that played out. Obviously, events are important. Like, events will impact how you experience your life and how your life feels and what emotions you experience on a day-to-day basis. However, it's almost more important how you make yourself feel than the events themselves. So, for example, if you're living your day-to-day life and you the other day I was walking down the street and I used this exact thing because it was after I had said it on this episode. And I was like, oh my God, wait, this really resonated with me. And I was leaving the grocery store. And every time I leave the grocery store, I get money anxiety and I just feel irritated and poor. And it was cold outside and I'm by myself. And so I could easily go down this rabbit hole of like being upset because of money, being upset because I'm alone, being upset because the weather sucks, and just like getting in this like everything's trash spiral. But then I remembered that it's not about the events, it's how I make myself feel. And if I can switch the perspective to, okay, but I went to the store to provide for myself and I was able to buy things that make my life better so that I can, take care of myself. And the fact that I'm able to do that is something that's good. And that I'm walking back to my apartment in downtown Chicago that I have by myself and I love my cozy little space, and being able to like shift my perspective to that and make myself feel better. The events are still the same, but if I can make myself feel a different way, it completely changes my life experience. But a lot of the time we get fucked up with this because we're comparing our lives to what we see in the media. And really what I'm talking about is social media, because we can look at movies and TV shows and feel like, oh, we want that. But I mean, we know that those are sets, curated, scripted things that we're seeing. What is happening when we look at social media is we're looking at people that are similar to us, and we can't wrap our mind around why they get to have that and we don't. And it really leads us on this path of what am I doing wrong, or what can I add, or what can I do more of, and this work harder hustle mentality to get to the point that if somebody's living a similar life to us, that we could have the things that they have too because their life looks so good online. And when we get caught in that comparison spiral, there's this subtle pressure that we take on to be productive and find your passion and monetize that passion and build a business and work for yourself. And I'm not going to work for anybody else because I'm going to live a beautiful, wonderful, curated life that I create and I don't answer to anybody. And being productive enough to figure that out. Or the subtle pressure to be healthy and be going to the gym all the time and be going to Pilates and yoga classes and be meal prepping and eating healthy and going on hot girl walks and doing all of those things. Or there's the subtle pressure to just have everything together and have a perfect, clean, aesthetic, beautiful home and have a great group of friends that you guys are out doing things and going to nice dinners and you have great fashion sense and you are in a wonderful, incredible relationship that is completely emotionally intelligent and he's doing more than the bare minimum and he's paying for you and you're traveling and you're flying all over. It's so much. It's way too much pressure. And it seems like a lot of pressure when I spell it out for us like that. And that's the problem, is that logically we know that that's insane. Like we logically understand that that's not something that we can compare ourselves to and that we are looking at a highlight reel. But it's the subtle pressure, okay? It adds this subtle pressure to how we choose to live our lives because we think that that's what will make us be good enough. It makes us feel like our life will finally be worth living if it looks like that. And that's what gets us trapped, living life by what we think will look good. Like that we're the observer overseeing how we're making our choices and living our life compared to actually being an active participant in it and making choices based on what would make us feel good. Because the truth is, aesthetic Instagram reality is clean routines and consistent habits and having everything together. But that's not real life. Actual life is fluctuating energy and emotions changing and things coming in that impact how we live our day-to-day life and having random things come up on random days and our moods changing based on those random things. Actual life is inconsistent and it's not linear. And it's absolutely not aesthetic because if your life looks good on camera, let's just be really honest here, it probably is fucking exhausting. Because if you have to incorporate all of those look good things, like going to yoga and Pilates and meal prepping all of the time and making sure you're doing all of the cool events with all of your friends and you're, starting the business and doing all the things, now add in all of your regular life stuff, like making sure you're showering every day and keeping decent care of your house and working a 9 to 5 job that has good benefits and taking care of your kids or your pets, like just like being able to relax and live your life. It's exhausting to make sure that you check all the things off of a list. And that's what causes us to start performing our life. That you're doing things because you think you should, not because it actually is something that's in alignment with your genuine feelings. And we do this so unknowingly. I think that's one of the biggest problems is that, we see these things that look so good and we want them. Genuinely. Like we genuinely want to travel and we genuinely want to have a good group of friends that we can go out and experience life with. And we genuinely want to have an incredible relationship and we genuinely want to have a nice, beautiful home. And we genuinely want to have a passion project that we can then monetize. And we genuinely want to be somebody that goes to Pilates or yoga or the gym and meal preps and takes care of their health. And so we try to pile all of that into our existence because we think that we genuinely want it. But where did that genuine want come from? And why do you think if you don't have everything all at once right now, that you're not good enough? And in an effort to make sure that you are good enough, you're performing all of these things for the instant gratification of having them all in this moment instead of allowing them to genuinely and naturally play out as they are meant to. You're choosing habits because they feel impressive. Like that if an onlooker was looking at your life, that it would be considered good enough. And so then that's what leads us to doing all of the things that we should without ever considering where that should came from or why we genuinely want that thing. Is it actually because it's something that came from our soul? Or is it because it would look good to have that thing? And that's what makes us want it so badly. When you live like this, you're always subconsciously thinking, am I getting it right? Like, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing in order to live the life that I'm saying that I want to live? And you take action because that's what we're told, that if we're not compiling all of these things into our life, that it's a discipline issue or a time management issue. And so we think that there's things that we could be doing better because that's what the internet says, is that the reason we're not successful is because we can't pile all of these things into our life. And until you can be disciplined and pile these things in and pile them in consistently, then we'll be a successful person, when in reality, you're probably not successful because you're hyper focused on making sure that you get it right compared to just doing things that feel good. But we never ask ourselves, and I know it's going to sound cliche, I know we've heard it before, but genuinely, and it could be scary. I think I think we just write this off as a cliche because it can be kind of terrifying to genuinely get the answer to this if we ask ourselves this question. But would you be living this way if no one else could see it? And it's such a weird question, especially in today's day and age with social media, because so much of the things that we do show to all of these people. So that's part of it, but would you do these things because they fill you up? Or are you just doing it because you think you should? Because that would make your life look good. Because according to society, if you do these things, then you'll be good enough. And even if you fail, at least you can say you did all of the things and tried. And what's the alternative? If we're gonna let go of the aesthetic Instagram reality and we're gonna just try to live a life that feels good, does that make you a lazy piece of shit? Does that mean that you actually have no drive and no ambition and you don't do anything? Because if nobody could see it, then I wouldn't do any of these things. And then what? I'm just gonna lay here and do nothing instead? No, I do genuinely want these things. I want to live a good life and I want to make an impact and I want whatever, answer whatever your thing is. And if the answer to that question of if nobody could see it and means that I wouldn't participate in it, that's the true honest answer. So then what? I just do nothing instead? That's not going to be a quality life, and then I'm not happy. But the issue isn't your life. The issue isn't what you're choosing to do in the specific events of how you're going about that. It's your expectation of what that will mean about you and your life. Here's the thing too, if the answer to the question of if you would still do the thing, even if nobody could see it, was no, you're doing it for the external validation. Because an artist, yes, creating their art and getting to share it with the world is an exceptional feeling, but they also are creating art because it does something for them. It does something to make them feel good compared to needing other people to see it, and that's what makes it good. And when you break it down that way and discover the things that genuinely do something for your soul, that would make you feel good, regardless if anybody saw it or not, it might not look like the ideal thing. It might be a lot less impressive than you were anticipating it to. But maybe it's impressive to you, but you're not even giving yourself the opportunity to consider that because you've lived your life based on what's impressive for the social standard, for the regular social media ideal. And that's what's making you think that something is wrong, that it doesn't match that ideal. What makes you feel good doesn't match what society has told us is good enough. And that's what's making you feel like you have to constantly fix things and you have to start over and feel like you're falling behind or living on some other timeline and not doing things right. But the truth is that there's just so much power in invisible progress, and we don't credit that because it's not something that we can see. And because we can't see it, people can't film it and put it on the internet. And so then we think that it's not something that exists or that it doesn't qualify for what's good enough and means that you're living a good life. But the truth is like most progress doesn't look like progress. Like you getting out of bed even when you don't want to, not even like from like on some depressed shit. Like truly, like if you don't feel like getting out of bed and you don't have to like go to work, I mean, also you could call off, you know what I mean? Like, but you getting out of bed and you showing up for yourself and doing that thing, that's progress. You showering every single day, that's progress. You brushing your teeth and washing your face every single night and morning, that's progress. You making your bed every day, that's progress. You cleaning your house and keeping up with your dishes and sweeping your floors and taking care of your kids and taking care of your cats or your dogs or whatever pet you have, like that's progress. That's you doing well for yourself. You paying to live you going grocery shopping and paying your rent and buying yourself clothes or even going out to eat once a month, like that is impressive. Doing one small thing that you said that you wanted to do, following through on the thing that you told yourself you would. Maybe you want to get more into being physically active, but you just can't stay consistent with the gym or you can't afford the Pilates and the yoga classes, but you want that to be a part of your life and you see it on the internet and it looks so great. And so you feel like your life isn't good enough because that's not a part of your life. But maybe instead you do one small thing and you go for a walk. And then maybe you like can do that every single day this week, or you do it every other day, or maybe you do it once a week and look at that. There you go. Like now that's a part of your life. Maybe you buy some adjustable dumbbells and you find YouTube video that you like to follow. I literally, honest to God, I love yoga, okay? I love going to yoga classes. I've also done Pilates. I did do that for a little while. Let me tell you, the only time I was ever able to do Pilates is because I had just moved home from Florida and I was temporarily staying in my dad's townhome that he had just moved out of. And so he wasn't making me pay rent there. So I had a few months that I didn't pay rent. That's when I went to Pilates because I didn't have to pay for rent. You know, I had that extra money that I could do it with. And as soon as I had to pay rent again, bye-bye Pilates, you know, but you can do all of that shit online now, you know, get on YouTube and look up a class. The yoga classes on there are so good. Invest in a mat. They're really inexpensive. You know, you can get a bath towel and you don't even need anything. Get on your floor and pull up a YouTube video and you can do it, and you can do it regularly. And you'll build that over time and it feels just as good because you're doing something that is caring for you compared to needing it to look a certain way in order for it to be good enough. It's showing up for you even if it's imperfect. It's showing up for yourself in a way that works for you today, meeting yourself where you're at today and knowing that that is enough. Like that it doesn't have to look like a specific thing in order to be considered good enough. And eventually, over time, if things are meant for you, they will progress and develop. Like, if going to the gym is something that's meant for you and you start by going on walks every day, you're gonna get more excited about taking more on. So, you go on the walks every day. Maybe you transition to walking on a treadmill in the gym. And now you've scoped out the lay of the land a little bit more and you think you can hop on some machines. So you walk and you go on the machines. And then after a couple months of doing that, you think, I feel like I could move over to the dumbbells. And you do a couple dumbbell things. Maybe you grab the dumbbells and a mat and you go hide in a corner of the gym and you pull up a YouTube video and you do the dumbbell workout in the gym, but by yourself in a corner. And then maybe you branch out a little bit more and you move into the barbells and more of the weight training. And eventually you're fully incorporated in the gym and are familiar and feel good and live that life. Or maybe not. Maybe you stop at the dumbbells. Maybe you stop at the machines. Maybe you do the classes that are incorporated into your gym membership. And it's not like you are taking on some like whole expensive membership at some specialized place. Whatever is meant for you will show up in your life, will incorporate into your life, will develop into how you make your choices. And that's what makes life actually feel good is you're focusing on where you're at right now and what would make you feel good and then doing that thing until it develops further. If it ever does, maybe it stays there. But it's how your life feels to you as an individual, not trying to shove somebody else's standard into your life. It's you creating your own standard for yourself. And through doing that, you actually then have the energy to do the things that you genuinely want to do because you're making them work for you, which just brings a lot more peace and enjoyment of your life because you're not needing it to look like something else because it feels good enough for you. It's not the aesthetics and the right amount of productivity and making sure that you get it perfect. It's real life. It looks like real, average, regular, everyday, not pretty, perfect life, but it's a life that is enjoyable and peaceful and that you have the energy for and you feel proud of living. So, to really solidify and shift into this mindset, I would start by asking yourself what things you're doing just because you think it would make your life look good. And then follow that by asking what actually makes your life feel good. I think a lot of this comes with experimentation, like just kind of following your gut and your intuition of what you feel like doing on a day to day basis. So, not over curating your routine. You know the things that you like and you know the things that will make you feel good, but you don't have to follow a specific guideline exactly the same way every single day. And then as you follow that guideline, you keep the things that work for you if you're trying new stuff, and you let go of the things that don't. Or you allow things to fluctuate and move in and out of your life when they serve you and when they don't, meaning that you can bring things back into your life when they serve you again. It's about being honest with yourself about what you genuinely want and not self-abandoning for the sake of what looks good and what would make you, from a society standard, be good enough, but what makes you good enough for yourself. You don't need a better life. You're not doing anything wrong. You're trying so hard to make your life feel good instead of just asking yourself today, what would make your life feel good? And being honest with yourself about that answer. Because maybe the answer is leaving the house a mess and reading your book this morning. Or maybe the answer is cleaning your house and going to the gym. It could be different every single day. Your best will change every single day. And if your life feels a little inconsistent or a little messy or a little all over the place, that doesn't mean you are doing anything wrong. It means you are simply living. You are simply experiencing life and just being a human. Your life does not need to look good in order to be good. That's it for today's episode. Thank you so much for being here. If it did resonate with you at all, make sure to send it to a friend who you think feels like they're a little behind, but you want them to know that they are doing just fine. This week, we have an awesome interview. If you are somebody that wants to incorporate more physical wellness into your life, you're going to want to tune into this one. She's got a lot of really helpful information in how to have a more physically well lifestyle and incorporating routines that support that. So make sure to tune in for that one. Otherwise, I love you guys endlessly, and you are absolutely good enough right now, exactly as you are. I will talk to you very soon. Bye.